23, 24. So like we already have the experience of seeing this club like being top of the league, like at Christmas, at New Year's, and not be able to win the league simply
Yeah.
because we always find a way to falter around February or March, or even for that matter in 22, even for that matter just 2 years ago when we were top of the league in week 36 and still didn't win the league. So so at the end of the day, I think it's absolutely critical that that there's nothing wrong in being quietly optimistic. That if the team does get over the line, then great, we can celebrate it. But simultaneously, like if we start walking the chest about how we're going to be doing quads and how we're going to be walking the league and how we're celebrating like a parade in November, like when we still don't see armpits in May, like I would like personally, I would rather be wrong, and I'd rather be wrong to be proven right than to have all this chest just to end up being proven wrong. Because at that stage, I then have egg on my face saying, rather after chatting all of that nonsense, saying how we're going to be doing X, Y, and Z, and we ended up not winning X, Y, and Z. Like,
But I think you could show confidence without getting too overly confident. I think you could still believe in your team winning the league, but you could just say I believe in the team winning the league. But again, we just have to wait and see. I don't think nothing is wrong with you being a fan of Arsenal and saying you believe your team could win the league based on whatever you want to base it on, whether that's defense, whether that's attack, whether that's whatever you think, whether City's not good enough, whatever you think. But I think you can have the confidence behind your team and have that confidence about whatever player you like, and still be level headed and not too much have egg on your face. Because again, you're not an oracle. No one here is an oracle. We don't know what's gonna happen. We can go on and win the league by 15 points from here on out if City just do a madness and just fall off a cliff. Who knows? No, I don't think it's gonna happen, but who knows? I'm saying if you can have a perspective that's optimistic and still not have egg on your face. That's just my perspective. I don't think every time a take goes wrong, you have to look like an idiot per
Yeah,
se.
that's how it should be. That's
Yeah.
how it should be. Just not like I said, the overhyping. Who is Doc? Who is the idiot? Oh, I don't know if it was Shane's show or if it was Views. Somebody posted up and they had it on one of their shows where there was there was like a few different Arsenal fan groups trying to say that Calafiore is going to be on the same level as Maldini. That's the type of
Where are people doing that? Like
What?
that's the type of stuff. That's the type of stuff that I just.
Well, that's where
It's just like-
why the hatred. That's
Oh my God.
why of the hatred for the Arsenal fans is because of that.
29 is
But when I see things like that, I just assume it's banner. That's not real.
But that's such a small group of fans. I've not even met these people or talked to these people genuinely
Oh,
in
Big
any
fella, they are-
conversation. So
It
Well,
is.
I don't know.
It is.
There's a
it
lot
is
more
much
than what
larger
you
of a
believe.
congregation than you're making it out to be.
that's craziness. I've never heard that.
There's
That's
a
a mad
lot
take.
more. There's a lot more nutcases in the Arsenal fan base than a
I
lot.
don't know if you guys could pull it up though, but AFC always had a comment. He directed at me, but I don't know what you guys think. He said this squad is overrated. Do you think this squad is overrated, guys?
In certain factors, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
In certain factors, yes.
Like what, defense?
I would.
What factors
I
specifically
think
would
we
you
have
say
the
is
best-
overrated?
When you talk right back, two center backs, we have the best in Europe. We have the best center back pairing in Europe, and defensively, there's not a right back anywhere close to Yuri and Timber. Those are the
Okay.
best. Raya is a good shot stopper, however, he's clumsy and is always good for a mistake randomly, as we've seen. Left back, I think Nkapia is a solid left back. I think he's won that position over Calafiore, in my personal opinion, especially because of the injuries. Odegaard, like I said, as of right now, I think he's overrated and he's lost his spot. As I said before, when we started the whole Eze conversation, Eze's been one of the best number 10s in the Premier League for the last few years. He's played well. You got to give him his props. Rice, listen to me. I think Rice and Zubimendi are playing out of position. I like that he went to the double pivot against Spurs. However, for me, I think Zubimendi's better as the 8, and Rice should just be an old school English number 4. Rice is one of the best defensive midfielders in the game. If you simplify his game to protecting the back line, tracking back, winning the ball in the midfield, winning the aerial ball, and then letting the offense go and do their thing. I personally think Rice is one of the best in the world with that. Possibly even top 3. Saka, the problem with Saka is I think Saka's still nursing injuries from last season, which is why we haven't seen, because Saka's game was all around that first, Saka had one of the best first step bursts of pace there was in the game, and he used it all the time, which is why he was going crazy. Now that he's had his injuries to his legs with the hamstring and everything, he doesn't have the pace, or at least that first step, which is hurting his game, which is why he looks a lot slower in the offense this year as opposed to the 2 years where Saka was going crazy for us. So Saka has gone down a step. Gyökeres, I don't think he's overrated. I think he's been used improperly. Again, he's not a good first touch striker. He's an old school bagsman. You just put the ball in the box and hope that he's there to finish. That's all he does. He's not a good holdup of play. He's not anybody who thought that he could play similar to that false nine shit that we've asked Havertz to do. He can't do it. Nowhere close. The left wing, the best was Trossard over the last few years because Martinelli's fallen off a cliff. But I think they've opened it up to interpretation and maybe even see if Jesus could play there a couple games, because the left wing the last few games has been god-awful. Martinelli has missed I don't know how many fucking goals in the league. Trossard, he's been off. He was huge at the beginning of the season, but he's hitting his patch where the form goes out the window. Everybody does it every season, but I don't know. For me, is the squad overrated? No, it's a very good squad. It's if there were adjustments made by the manager now, I think we still win the league easily because I don't believe in City like that. But if you keep daring City to take the lead in the points the way we have and the way we've played in certain games, I have a gut feeling that if City does take the lead in the league, they're not going to give it back and leave it up to chance like we have. That's my only problem with this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would even go as far as saying, I mean, like, I think it's worth analyzing that. So because we set up so intentionally defensive, I mean, like, so I just want to be clear. Like, I very well highly rate, God bless it, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, and Nkapie. And personally, that for me is like my back four. From here on out. I've been a massive fan of Nkapie always, like from his time as a youth down in Ecuador, and I'm absolutely stoked that we had signed him. However, it is worth considering that because we set up so defensively, intentionally, right? So now we have like the back four, but we also tend to play with like two DMs as well. Like that is going to possibly create a statistical outlier where we look better defensively than how we may end up being. It's not to say that I don't think those players are underrated, but I think the system is intentionally designed to make us look defensively better than how we are. I personally don't rate Merino. I definitely don't rate 29 or Pillowfoot. I think they are overrated beyond belief. I mean, like, again, like the easiest way that I can contrast, like Pillowfoot is, is comparing him against the likes of Hleb or Rosicky, Nasri, or Arshavin, or Zorla, or Ozil, and he's not better than any of them. And unless someone else suggests otherwise, I'm definitely here to have that conversation. And I would even say the same with, even the same thing with 29. Like people comparing him to Bergkamp. I mean, like, give me a break. Man's not even good enough to touch the shoes of Robin van Persie. We all have seen players in this team over time who would be getting into this squad today. Even if today I would still be taking Ozil and Aubameyang starting in this squad right now. Yes, clip that up, ladies and germs.
And Sanchez.
And didn't even get to Alexis Sanchez, right? And I'm sorry to hear this. Again, like, look, Saka.
We really walked the league.
Oh yeah, it would not. Like, it wouldn't even come close. Yeah, like Sanchez was absolute class. But it's also worth mentioning that Arteta got rid of those individual, players that can change games and grab a game by the scruff of the neck, simply because I find it very telling. There was a Sky interview that Arteta had done roughly maybe 2021 or so, and we're talking years back, and he was asked to describe players by one word, and the word that he described Alexis as was chaotic. As opposed to hungry, as opposed to just dynamite. Because again, like Alexis was dynamite, and if he was in this squad today, it would be lights out. I think like this team and this manager, they have everything to prove. The onus of responsibility to demonstrate that they actually are class and not just pretenders. Like the time is now, especially now than ever, where we are doing so well across 4 competitions. We need to be seeing armpits. Have to be.
I agree. I don't think the squad is overrated for me. I do think what I would say is when all these players that we might say or might not be to the level, I think when they're on their level, they can start in this team. And I think compared to other teams, like you talked about, Gianni, we unlike other teams on the continent, have the privilege of having a deep squad, having the money to go and buy certain players to add to a squad. So, for example, we've seen Noni come in for Saka when he can't step in. We have an Eze before when we didn't have him in seasons prior. We got Havertz not even in the squad. We have Ben White, who before his injury was one of the best right backs in this league, who's not even in the squad yesterday in the North London derby. So for me, I don't think the squad is overrated. I do think we have options and guys to call upon that we're all, well, for me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm all comfortable if they get the start. When you talk about pairings, that's a little bit different. But individually as players, I can say, okay, he's not a shit player. I don't expect him to, you know what I'm saying? I believe we have a deep enough squad compared to other guys on the continent, which is why I speak the way I speak about the team lifting trophies. So I think we're all in some sort of agreement that trophies need to be won this season and that the squad is to a level. So I don't think the squad can be necessarily overrated, because if it was overrated,
let me
be
put
talking about
this question
trophies.
to
Definitely gonna win.
Football Rig, yeah, to Sammy, yeah. Does this squad lack ruthlessness to go on to win major trophies?
No, I don't think it lacks ruthlessness. I think the profile of players that we have are quite defensive. I mean, you guys named Hincapié and Timber. I do rate them defensively. Don't get me wrong. I think they are very solid defensively. But going forward, they do slow us a little bit down, in my opinion. And, you know, if you look at the last decade of the Premier League, the thing about the Premier League is the attacking style is what actually wins you the league. And it's no longer the defense, no longer the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, no longer the days of hit and smash and run by Chelsea. And this is why we have a lot of profiles that are defensive. Plus, the manager is asking a lot from our wingers to track back. And that kind of, you know, takes a toll out of them in the game. I mean, if Saka keeps tracking back, if Trossard keeps tracking back, and Gianni said it best. I mean, when you are defending, you are exuberating more energy than actually attacking and keeping the ball. And you have to consider that. The players cannot keep doing it for the full 90. I mean, he has to fix up somehow his tactics to get the best out of our attack, because we are limping in the attack. We don't have a left wing. I'm sorry, Trossard is just gone. Martinelli is worse. So I don't know. Even I don't even entertain the thought that I have to play. I don't want to entertain the fact that I want to play Eze on the left, right? And let's say Havertz is back. I don't know. I mean, I have seen him a couple of times there.
Jesus, brother. At least his time in City, he was better as a winger than a false.
That's true. That's true. I would go with Jesus. I would go with Jesus because the small sample that I've seen Eze play as a left wing, he didn't really look convincing. I think
what about Noni? What about Noni on the left wing? He started the season there,
bro. He started
awful,
he hasn't really gone.
When he played on the left, when he played on the left, he wasn't that convincing, in my opinion.
Not at all. I
Noni,
agree with you.
The thing that I like about Noni, he's a different. If you keep him as the rotation player for Saka, or he starts over Saka in some games for the rotation, but mostly Saka's going to start. He's a different profile of player to Saka.
Yeah.
Saka's going to be more of a slower, more methodical winger. If a fullback's tired around the 65th, 70th minute, you bring Noni on to bring that pace. We said here, the Brighton game when he came on, when Martinelli skied the shot over the goal in the dying minutes, Noni tore the whole game up because everybody was tired. Again, now if you apply that to now keeping Gyökeres in longer, those are those sitting type of passes that need to be given to Gyökeres for him to bang the goals. You know, if you're tied 1-1 late down, you don't take Gyökeres out. You keep the bagsman in there. You bring Noni in to start giving those passes into the box because nobody can stop him because he's fresh and just because of how fast he is as well. But he creates those openings for Gyökeres to get the shot off in the penalty box. Those passes, you give 5 of those passes, 6 of those passes a game to Gyökeres, he's bagging at least 1, probably 2 a game with his goal scoring record. We just haven't played to his best ability the whole season.
And I think the 2 points that I would make, I would not be opposed to seeing Saka on the left wing. I don't think his future is going to be on the wing any much further, just because like he has lost that pace as a result, like from that injury. But I think I would prefer him to be on the left wing.
Doc, he's 24 years old. Doc, he's not 34.
Well, like Jack Wilshere was also 25, 26. Like when his career started to go on a decline, just because he was also getting run into the ground. I mean, like we're looking at a very potential similar scenario here, just because this manager has not managed Saka's rehabilitation well enough, like after his injury and recovery. What I would also say, even to
emotional damage.
What I'd also say as well, I would not be opposed to seeing a 4-4-2. And as you had referenced, Yanni, Diamond 4-4-2. Like if we were to reorient like the formation, even just for a little bit, just for say like one game. I mean, granted, we should have been doing it at the onset during say like preseason, just to be able to like see like the viability of it. But if we are changing up the system just a little bit, so that for example, we are playing with two strikers up front, I would be more open to the idea of Gyökeres being paired up with say like a 29, or even Gyökeres like being paired up with Jesus. But but there has to be some type of change, simply because the formation and the tactics and the directions that we have been seeing over time have not been providing the fruit that we need to see, and we should have, and this league should have been wrapped up already by now.
Yeah, but getting back to the point where he wants to play Madueke on the left. Sorry, Waffle Don, but I haven't seen really players that are, for example, left wings and left-footed at the same time. I mean, they just don't work out in nowadays football. I mean, where do we see?
I mean, Rafinha is probably the only type, but he's such a different kind of winger.
You compare Madueke to Rafinha.
I'm not comparing him. I'm saying we're talking about left-footed players that play on the left. So I'm just using that. You have to use him differently, is what I'm saying, to get the best out of one of those players. I'm saying if he does play Anoni on the left, he's going to have to use him differently compared to a traditional beat your man, put in a cross type of winger than what we see in modern football. So that's the only thing I would say.
But I guess to that end, like under Arteta's regime, which attacking player has been consistently good?
I would say Saka has been consistently good before his injuries. I would say consistently good. How do you mean consistently? Because for example, like a Gyökeres, he's starting to get good, but he started the season pretty shit. They're always growing into it. Do you call that growing pains into a new team, a new league? Same thing with Havertz. I thought Havertz has progressed well and done well for Arteta specifically. Do you call that growing pains when he first started into what he's become now? So I don't know what necessarily you probably argue.
I think consistency means probably season after season, and I don't think Gyökeres.
So I think it's probably Saka specifically as attackers.
Saka's the only one.
Yeah. I mean, like to that end though, like wasn't Saka already performing at at a certain level like before Arteta had arrived, and then additionally so I guess even a good question for that matter is at what
So you're saying he had the talent basically.
At what point do we credit players' growth for based on their own accord versus managerial tutelage?
Well, if they're young for one, you have to go with man. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, he just became great."
Yeah, I agree.
For a young player, I guess you would point towards that, but then it gets to the point where if they're a little bit older, which I get what you're saying.
Saka's the only one. Saka's the only one.
The only one, yeah.
Only one.
But
I don't think any of the other attackers that have shown quality have been here or long enough to really say they've been consistent for a long period of time either. Like for example, if let's just say Gyökeres goes on to bag 25 goals this season, he goes on to have another 10 more goals in all counts this season or plus. I would say that's a good season for Gyökeres, especially starting. He only blew up like turn of the year. If he goes on to do it again, I think not only I'll make the argument. I think not only has his overall game improved from when we first got him, but he's starting to add the goals. Because even when you look at his performance yesterday, the link-up play was there, the touch was there, the cutting inside was there. I would have loved him to bury that first chance.
Yeah, that's
I
what
didn't
Timber
see it. He wasn't doing that necessarily when he started. So I can't just say that's not down to manager. I think some kind of development, whether that's tactically or whether that's him improving his own game, has to go into that. So
It's
I do
tactic.
think there's some guys that are improving, but I don't
I
think they've been here long
disagree.
enough.
It's-
I disagree about you, Curse.
I think it's the
Mm.
tactics. When Eze plays and we play a 4-2-3-1, the offense is quicker.
Or Eze, yeah.
Here,
Or Eze. If Eze kicks on too.
Real quick question. As far as watching football as the beautiful game, most entertaining, the best entertaining football that Arsenal's played under Arteta was when we got Trossard from Brighton, when we were blowing the doors off of teams in 22-20. Since then, the way we've played, the layout of how the team looks in attack has changed. We've gotten more rigid. Our setup is further away from the box than what it has before, which is why it's affected everybody all around. When Saka and Martinelli were the wingers and Trossard played the false 9, dropped in deep, Trossard did not score a lot of goals, but the motherfucker had 8 of his 11 assists in the first 6 weeks that he was with Arsenal.
I do remember that when he first came. He was on form.
He won Premier League Player of the Month, was about to win it for a second month in a row. What did he do? He rushed Jesus back from the injury, upset the whole balance of the team, and we went 1 win and 7, and we gave up the 8-point lead to City. Since then, we have gotten more rigid defensively. Sammy, we said it on your show. Waffle's been there. Doc's been there. Again, it's more rigid defensively, which is taking away from the ability of the other forwards. If there was less of this overall defensive push, if you went a little bit more forward and more relaxed in the forward line, we would be blowing the doors off of teams.
Yeah.
Again, why is Hincapié further up the pitch than Martinelli or Trossard when we're playing out from the back? Why is Timber further up the pitch than Saka at times? Why is Saka all the way back in almost a fullback, a wingback position? There's no need for it. When they play further up the pitch and when they play more in the center, Arsenal is 10 times the better team going forward in attack than this whole wing-to-wing bullshit. When we are more central and more direct, we score goals for fun.
I agree with that.
Let me ask you a question then, because we're talking up our team quite a lot in terms of attack and stuff. Yeah,
brother, look at the numbers. The numbers speak for itself.
Yeah, no, and this is my point.
That season because he's more in the center. That's what I'm saying. When
this is taking me to my next point. We're both on Arsenal and City are both on the same league goals right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go to the Etihads and go ban for ban with them?
Yes.
Is this the right time now to just say, you know what, shackles off?
I think Pep is going to be defensive.
And you know what?
I feel like Pep is going to be defensive anyway.
I agree with Capo. And I think the season where we ended up tying when we got that stupid Trossard red card, I think we were on to beat them at the Etihad too. Yes. I think there have been times we really had City. And I'm talking about home and away. And I remember there was a New Year game. It was 21-22, top of New Year, where they ended up going on to win the league, where I think Rodri scored the winner in that one. We had them to beat at the Emirates. So I think, yes, this whole narrative of Arsenal beating City and we have to go there and beat them. Yes, I want to go there and beat them because that's a big monkey off your back. We haven't won there in since 2015.
You need to win there no matter what.
I think you want to go there and win, but I think we will. We've come close enough.
If we're back up to 7, 8 points clear is the only way that it's okay to go to the Etihad and drop points. That's the only way.
We really know what, regardless of what everyone else thinks of Arteta, we know what Pep thinks about Arteta. So we already know, like he showed us clear and simple exactly how he rates Arteta and how scared he is of Arteta and Arsenal.
And City know they can't open up because if they give away chances to Newcastle and Fulham and get them to be in 5-4, imagine if they open up to us. We know we can smoke teams when they open up. So I think if they open up to us, even if it's at the Etihad, we can get 2-3 goals there. I definitely believe that.
Yeah, but do you think Arteta will do that? I think Arteta will respect them too much, like we did.
No,
for the
I know. Again, that is
games.
the question that we have to wait and see. It depends. Does he trust the team enough to go there, open up, and play that football? Does he think it's smart enough to open up and play that football? When we went there a few seasons before, with Calafiori scored that mad goal, I thought, to be honest, we were good and we played well. We were better than them in that first half, and then we sat back and we had to see we did what we tried to do. We tried to see a game out. So if we come back and with that same mentality, I think we can win there.
No. Do you know how I think Arteta is going to set up? It's going to be based on that game, the final. If we lose that game, yeah, he's going to go all out in that
And blitz them.
City game. He's going to go.
I think you should go all out and blitz them in the final. I'm not before to get the Premier League game. I think for the final, I think you go and you try to crash it on them. I think you really try to go and you try to play and you show that you're the better team than them. I don't think you approach that game in a low block and you try to reserve and you try to pick your moments. No, I think you go there.
That's his
I think
default.
Arsenal's the better team. I think Arsenal's the better team, and you go there and you try to show football. But I think Sammy, I think I agree with you. I think for what we've seen over the course of Arteta is that's his revert type. He's more pragmatic than he's more adventurous. And I think going back to what Gianni said, the context of 22-23, us being so good, but lost the league when we've been so good attacking wise, kind of hurt him and made him think, oh, fuck it. Well, I have to do anything I need to win. And it's made him go into more pragmatic. However, I think since that Man United game, I do think there's been an improvement in terms of stylistically how we want to play more vertically, getting the ball into Gyökeres early, having Eze more in the team, and this is why I want Norgard to get more minutes, just because that forces you now to see, okay, if Norgard is playing the ball through the lines in the Prem, Declan Rice and Zubimendi have no right to come on and not try to play those same passes, and especially if it's working, because Norgard will have to come back into the team. So that's why I say, if you continue to improve and you continue to put goals on the board and you continue to beat these teams, and if Eze performs well, all the better. But if we continue to put that level of attacking football out there, there's no reason as to why we shouldn't go to that
UBK, get your ass on here, man.
And try to slap them up.
That's
That's my perspective.
That's true, but you know what? First of all, we got to play Chelsea first.
Of course.
Then we're gonna play Brighton,
Of course, and Everton.
And also we're gonna play against them in the final, right?
Yep.
And that final, I think, will be quite. That's when I'm gonna start judging Arteta, how he's gonna approach the game based on that final, because that final is gonna be a big game, right?
I'm focusing on the final before even the Premier League game. My main set is the final. I want to win that final personally, and I want to win it. I want to win it by any means, whether we win it a 1-1 on penalties, 0-0 on penalties. I want to win, but I do think you have to go into that final. And you have to prove. You have to at least show yourself that you can beat this team. You head up, you can go and beat that team. That's just my perspective. I think you have to do that.
Agreed. Agreed. Laws, what the fuck?
Why for that? Why? Yo,
Come on,
before we move, Doctor, you said
That comment was mad. That comment is mad.
why?
That comment is mad, bro.
Oh. Yo, Doctor, you mentioned something about the like how we're gonna. I actually tweeted this a couple of days ago. This is a bit off topic, but I feel like football is gonna go back to having two strikers up top. I think someone mentioned playing a diamond with two up top. I actually feel like that's like you guys. Some of you guys look a little bit older. You guys will know like how trends and go through cycles, and they just go around and then start again.
It's
and
true.
I actually think like in the next 5 to 10 years,
Actually,
like
quite the
having two
opposite.
strikers will be like the standard again.
Well,
I
So
think
it depends
no.
on
I
who
mean,
starts.
if you look at the young managers like Xabi Alonso, Amorim, they are considered to be young managers, right? In the world of managers. And look at the lineups they play. They're all playing with the back five, 3 defenders, wing backs. You know, that's how they approach. I don't know why they are going back to that kind of formation, but I don't see any manager playing with 2 strikers since Thierry Henry and Bergkamp.
Same guy
That's
you
the last
just
time I saw 2 up
But
front.
you know
guy
what's interesting though?
What are you talking about? Xabi Alonso played with 2 strikers at Leverkusen. Just because it was a 4-3-3, Boniface is not a winger. He played with Boniface. He played with Boniface.
Boniface is definitely a striker.
Yeah, he played with Boniface and Schick, and Wirtz floated beneath.
close for behind. Yeah.
Well, Pep
When you
playing
look-
with
you look-
Haaland and Mamouche at one point.
That was Frankfurt. They played 4-4-2.
The-
But it was
The
same
only
thing.
thing is why I don't know if
Even
it
like
work in the
Gyökeres and
Prem.
Havertz for me is kind of like a 2 up front.
I don't know.
No,
Well,
Gyökeres-
we're set up right now. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's gonna work.
if you are you saying like pairing him up with like a hold-up play striker because all he is just a finisher?
I mean, I'm not even giving a suggestion. I'm just saying like.
I'm asking you like if you're saying Gyökeres with a second striker, are you saying the other striker that you would like pair with him? If you're saying second is like more of a hold-up play guy because Gyökeres is just a finisher, he's not a
No, it
technical
should be a different
Yeah,
profile.
so like,
It should be a different
yeah. I
profile.
mean, personally, I'd like someone that can be a
Like
finisher, but
Forrest.
also a hold-up guy. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Can
But-
Alvarez
In
do
an
that?
ideal world, yeah, in an ideal world.
See, here's-
Yeah, in an ideal world, you know.
See,
But,
like in a way, we already kind of play that way. If you look at how everybody with the 4-3-3 plays, you really do go down to two strikers. It's just
Yeah.
it depends which side the ball is on with the winger. For
Look
the
at the
other-
Gyökeres goal, the first goal. Eze is like the
It's like
screener
Eze, yeah.
for the goal.
Yeah.
Eze is the screener, so yeah.
But if you look at here, Klopp, when Klopp had Roberto Firmino as the false nine, he dropped in
Yeah.
deep. Mane and Salah came into the middle.
Yeah.
Same thing when
Inside
when-
wingers.
inside winger. Same thing with Slot last year. Same thing. Darwin Nunez they weren't depending on. And Luis Diaz was dropping in and playing false nine with Gakpo coming in across, or Gakpo was false nine and Salah was still coming across. When they go into the attack, the wingers are more central. That's what I'm saying is part of the problem with Arsenal. If you look at the way City's offense has worked and you look at the way Liverpool's offense has worked in these title wins, look at the starting positions of Mane and Salah, or Salah and Gakpo, or anybody from City. They're more center and closer to the box than where we are. We're starting them off as touchline wingers. Again, Saka and Martinelli, when they had the best goal-scoring season with 22-23 combined, they were starting on the edge of the 18-yard box rather than the touchline. That's part of the problem to why our offense is so stagnant. When these guys are able to get into positions where they're more central, that's how we're able to blitz teams.
But I think the truth of the matter is right now we're in the middle of a transition where we're going kind of like you guys talked about, going away from wingers being the main goal scorers, even though it was just last season that we saw Dembele and those man get bare goals. But no, we're seeing Haaland get goals, we're seeing Igor Thiago get goals, we're seeing all these strikers now in the Premier League go back to being the main source of goals for their teams. So I think we're kind of even entering a transition period even this season. So it's kind of hard to really pinpoint what's necessarily going to work, because I think managers are trying to find that out on the fly right now. So
What do you mean by transition period? Delve into that. Give me
just because I think what Capo and Doctor said, you're kind of seeing this two striker kind of thing get back into the modern game now. And when you guys suggest a diamond, I don't think a diamond necessarily would work, because a lot of teams now set up in a 4-4-2 with 4 banks of 4, and that stops you from trying to play middle, which is why Arsenal have been trying to get the width. As currently constructed, if we were to play a diamond, I don't think we have enough guys in that midfield to give us enough width. And then you probably ask Yuri and Timber to get further up the pitch, leaving space in behind, and Capia to get further up the pitch, leave space in behind. So you're gonna have to, I guess, buy more players that fit that profile, fit that system, and I guess adapt players who we already have to fit that profile and fit certain systems. So I don't think currently constructed we might see that, but I'm not disagreeing with the fact that Gyökeres might benefit with having a second striker up there. I think other teams can also benefit with having a second striker up there next to them, just because teams having to play out from a low block and a high press are going to have to force the ball long, which is what we're seeing Arsenal do. So I think it's a transition period. So we're going to have to wait and see what overall style of football prevails and who takes that transition into the next couple of years, because I think we're starting to go away from maybe the wingers being the highest goal scorers in football nowadays.
You know, I would actually almost contend that I'm not sure if we're ever going to see two strikers ever again. Oh boy. But look, I mean, and I guess where I'm coming from that perspective that, is that like over time we have seen both traditional 9s and traditional 10s being removed from the game, or even more so like those classic 9s and 10s that we were always familiar with growing up. They have been melded into one false 9 role. So so I truly do wonder whether whether or not like in the future we're ever going to see like a proper 10 and a proper 9, and I know that all of us can list them right off the tongue, just because we had grown up with that. We had grown up watching some of the best 9s and 10s that that the sport has ever seen. But I think that managers have gotten too comfortable with the system as opposed to getting the best out of individual players. And I don't know.
That's also a little bit true too.
Yeah, I think it's going to require managers who who are going to make bold decisions and who are also going to do things differently, like how, for example, Xabi Alonso did differently over at Leverkusen. Like that was very much like a deviance like from the norm. Whether or not like he takes hold, I think there's going to be a different story.
Where's that echo coming from? Where's that echo coming from? What? Hello?
Yeah, now it's
No, it's gone.
Now it's gone.
So I don't know, man. Like I miss a classic 9. You know, like in Gyökeres, like from for what it's worth, like he resembles like the most traditional 9 that I have seen in a very long time. Yes, he does not create his own goals. Frankly, I don't care. Like we did not bring him to create his own goals. Like we brought him in to score the chances that we do create.
Speaking of strikers, I want to ask Gianni this year because there's that Italian player that played. I know he's young and everything, but I thought he was a live wire against us for Inter Milan. I can't remember his name. You probably know his name. Yeah. What do you think of him?
Good talent, but I'm not good. He's a good talent, but I'm not one of these guys that prescribes to the guy had one good year. We're going to dump a fuck ton of money and go get him. If again, this team hasn't won a Premier League title in going on 22 years, right? I'm sick and tired of waiting for developmental players to go and prove it. Go and get me somebody that's actually going to fucking do it.
I hear.
We can worry about a developmental player after we've already got over the line for him to come in and learn the system because now it's a proven system instead of this continuous rinse and repeat bullshit and throwing money and see what sticks. Yeah, exactly. I'd rather go spend $100 million on Julian Alvarez. I'd rather go do that. Fuck waiting for one of these young kids.
But wait, question though. If Julian Alvarez right now, I think only has like 7 league goals in La Liga, does that worry anyone here on the table?
No.
Or does his talent perceive that?
His talent perceives that. It's Diego Simeone. It's the only manager that's more rigid than fucking Arteta has been in the last 2 years. So
and I think it's also worth mentioning, that Julian Alvarez has already proven himself like in the league with City.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I just wanted to see like if that.
Not only
if
that,
the
I wouldn't even care about Alvarez. I need a fucking left winger.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
don't even need
There's a player that we're linked to, Gianni, and I told you about him, man. I told you.
bro. Rafael Leao is gone, bro. Stop
Yeah, man. We are linked to him, bro, and I hope we do get him.
Let me ask you.
We're still linked to him.
Oh, all right, Johnny, is he better than what we have right now?
It's very recent.
We missed out.
Yes, go check, man. Go check Twitter. You're gonna find a lot of links between Arsenal and Rafael Leao.
So he's not better than
80
Trossard,
million.
better than Martinelli.
He's 100% better than Trossard and Martinelli.
Oh.
He has all. Listen here. Rafael Leao has all the skills to be one of the best players in the world. The question is his motivation. You're getting a Balotelli situation with him.
Oh,
Don't worry,
really?
man. We can motivate
That's
him,
what
bro.
I
We can
wonder.
motivate
That's
him.
what
No
I
problem,
wonder.
bro.
It's the question. It's the
Yeah.
question of this with him. Okay.
Because how is he so good, but still like, they pull him out of big games for AC Milan?
Oh,
where-
Here's the problem. He was good 3 years ago. He hasn't been good. in 2
By the
years.
way, Gianni has agenda against him, guys.
And he was.
Just
I
letting you
know
know.
him in the center, bro.
okay, Sammy, call him out.
Okay, so Sammy, since
Call him
we're
out.
gonna do this, what position did he play when they won the league?
He was
played
more
right
central than left wing.
Correct. So he's
Yeah.
so again, we're doing the same problem over again. We're getting another guy who needs
Martinelli, yeah.
control, like Martinelli, like Trossard. Yes, overall he has better skills than Leao, but the problem is the motivation. Again,
Mhm.
I want somebody who's more proven. I'd rather put fucking Rodrigo or Morgan Rogers over there who's showing some fucking light and fight than a guy who may not show up for 5 games because that's
Rodriguez
Leao.
been shit, bro, lately. Come on.
Who?
Rodriguez been shit
And
lately.
what has Rafael Leao done in 2 years in Serie A going on this year? Nothing. They drew again.
At least I know he carried his team to a league.
He carried a team.
We need somebody to carry us to the league, bro.
Brother, he's not doing it. Sorry. The track record disproves what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm going to get a guy.
History agrees with me, man. He won them the league. You deny that?
I'd rather Yildiz, man.
Oh. What has
Nah,
he done?
man. Nah,
Yeah.
bro.
What has he done in the recent? What has he done in the recent? He's done nothing. He's done
Mhm.
his position is
So
even
so is Rodrigo.
his
Man.
numbers
He's
like? What's
done
his numbers?
he's done nothing as well.
huh?
So is Rodrigo. He didn't do anything this season or the season before that. So where do we go from here?
Who's got more in the title trophy for showing up? Who shows up when it counts?
Ah, so it's that, man. So Rodrigo is actually the guy who won them the 4 UCLs and all that stuff. Rodrigo's the guy,
He's only
not the others.
Say it again, Aaron.
He's only been there for 2. What are you talking about 4? He's only been there for 2.
Okay, so what kind of trophies we're talking about?
Okay, so he won them 2 league. He won 2 league doubles. He got 2 Spanish double. No, a Champions League. He did 2 doubles in 3 years. What's Leao done since then in that same time frame? Nothing.
Yeah, well, comparing Milan to Real Madrid. Is that
Oh,
what we're doing
yeah,
right
so
now?
I can say the same thing. So now that's the goal.
And he wasn't even a starter, bro.
What are you talking about? He did start when they won the double. What are you talking about? Him and Vinny were the starting 2 strikers with Bellingham underneath. What are you talking about?
Well, recently he's been dropped for Arda Güler.
Oh, recently,
and
right.
Brahim Diaz as well, right? He's
Recently,
dropped-
Real has done nothing. We can go back and forth on
Oh,
this.
hold on, Johnny. 19 matches, 8 goals, 2 assists. That's not too shabby, is it?
Who?
This season, Liao.
He started every game and they're playing 1 game a week, bro. They don't have any European play. That's that's terrible. If you're going to win a title, you're already 10 points clear. You're already 10 points behind Inter Milan, bro, with no European play. You get all the extra rest and you're still not doing anything. I'm sorry, bro. We were just talking about Eze. Again, this is what I mean. We were talking about Eze getting adjusted from 30 games a year to now going over 40 games. So now we can't apply that to Leao when he hasn't done it. He was also part of the problem to why they didn't qualify Europe for last year, because he's not a consistent player. He can show up. Listen, Leao has games where he's the best player in the world. He has the skills and ability to do that. It's consistency. At this point of still waiting to win a title for Arsenal, I don't want an inconsistent player to his degree anymore. We've
So
tried.
who would you go for left wing, Gianni?
Yeah, who's your
Personally, I'm going for Morgan Rogers. Rogers at a young age has already done it. Rogers on the big stage showed up against PSG. He was the best player for Aston Villa across 2 games against PSG. And despite what any Arsenal fan wants to say, Aston Villa gave PSG way more run for their money in that 2-legged tie than
But don't you think it's similar profile as Eze?
who?
Rogers.
Rogers has been on the left the 2 years that he's been with Villa, or he's played on the right wing. He's not a number 10 right now. He's been a number 10 right now because of injuries, because Tielemans not there. When Tielemans starts, he's in the 10 and Rogers is out on the left. And in recent big game moments, again, I'm going with the hot hand. I'm not going with Leao. Again, if we have the money to go buy players, go get here. Taryn said it too. I'd go get Doué. Or if you can't get Doué, I'd go look at Kvara. I'd go get Varashelia if you want to go that route, because at least they've shown up.
I'm not
not
gonna sell him, bro.
It doesn't show up consistently. I'm sorry. We've done that too many times. That's part of the reason why we're in a 20-year drought from a Premier League title. We've taken too many chances on players that are inconsistent, and it's always come back to bite us in the ass.
I still want Leo.
Oh, guy as well from Bayern Munich as well. I think he's a baller, man. Leonard, is it
Who?
Leonard Carl? What his name is?
Yeah, Leonard Carlos.
Oh, Carl,
Just signed a
yeah.
new deal. Funny enough, I just saw,
Yeah,
and they're
he's
trying to
sweet.
lock him down to 2031 or
Even,
something like that.
the Turkish kid, Yildiz. I'd take Yildiz too.
He's a baller. He's a baller,
But can
bro.
you make this? I haven't seen too much of him like probably you other guys. But wouldn't he like be the same like project kind of guy? Like I don't like. Would he be the same in the Premier League? He'd have to come in. He'd have to adjust new style of play. Would he be like this? Would he? What if he doesn't hit the ground running? Isn't that like a risk as well?
I mean, but like simultaneously though, you know,
It-
like Eze also hadn't hit the ground running despite being like a Premier League like proven player as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Which is
I
another.
personally don't know who I'd go for.
about-
Honestly, I'm still
About
up in-
Yildiz, by the way, just to let you know, guys, his top speed is 31.6.
What is that of
For a
anything?
winger, that's awful for a winger. So it means that he's not all and out winger.
Perez weren't quick though for Arsenal.
Yeah, but Paris, man,
Ability, what you have, it's that ability.
he was
I've
an
seen-
idiot, bro, Pires.
He's played quite a bit. Yeah, he's quite deceptive and he's quite skillful as well. And he gets past his man with ease as well. He's a very good player, man. I've seen him on international stage playing. And he's a very good player. He's a very, very good player.
That is very slow, bro. I mean, he's quick on his feet, but he's not fast. Looks could be deceiving. I mean,
It's tricky.
maybe Johnny. I mean, Johnny
Come on,
maybe is
let's-
watching more
Wait,
Serie A
wait,
than me. So
What does he do?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what if we're going off pace? Then Mudryk is
it's not only pace, right? Pace is one attribute from bunch.
exactly. I'm going off.
Martinelli's fast.
Who?
What's Pace going to do in a low block? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Who plays against the low block every weekend? Yildiz does.
Hmm.
Leao plays in a low block with AC Milan. All they're hoping for is counterattacks. He hasn't been breaking down low blocks for 2 years. Again, this is my point. Everybody misconstrues what Leao's done. Again, I'm not disagreeing with talent-wise is through the roof. The problem is the mental side with him. If you here, to Sammy's point, let's just say Arsenal, let's say Arteta wins the league this year, he gets Leao next year, and Arteta's the guy to break through to where he's consistent. Fantastic fucking buy, because Leao has all the capability in the world. But the problem is you're hoping that the manager can do it. The players should be motivated enough if you're playing for big clubs. I'm sorry, that's the way I'm looking at it here. He's too inconsistent. He's just too inconsistent for me. I've seen him. He was great when he was a kid in the 21-22 season for AC Milan. We're talking, and this is the problem. We're talking about getting form back from 4 years ago.
But Don, I think this goes back to the point I was kind of talking about earlier, I think, which is why I think we're in a transition, because we're naming all these strikers that potentially work in a double striker system, but we're going through different wingers, and we can't really necessarily pinpoint one that will work for Arsenal next season. And I think that's kind of what I talk about in the transition. Just from last season to this season, the fall off of some wingers, and even before that for some, has been significant to a point where you're kind of unsure about certain guys' levels if they're consistent enough to step into a team like Arsenal who face the certain challenges we face. So I think that's part of us transitioning to see the next phase of football, honestly.
Question to the panel: when Dalman comes back from his injury, do you think he will have a major part of our season? Don't
He
want to
has
hear
to.
about his age.
He
If
has
you're good
to.
at his age, you should.
He
You
has
should
to.
come
At this
into
point, he should get the starting left wing spot when he's healthy. In my
it.
Left wing.
if you're not going to try Jesus,
I wouldn't play him left wing. I think
Well,
this,
right.
this is where I definitely have him as give him some rotation minutes, and I'd probably put, not forcing Noni off the left, but hey Noni, I'm gonna need to see you. I'm gonna need to see something, or maybe Saka gets more minutes at the 10 in rotation to Eze. I think this is why the manager was kind of looking at playing Saka in other positions, because Saka is such a mainstay in the team for Arteta. It kind of hinders a Dalman's progression, a Noni getting more minutes in the squad. Because if Saka's fit and he's raring to go, you're not really putting him on the bench necessarily unless you're rotating him for fitness. So that's why I think Saka's picking up minutes in the 10, picking up minutes on the left wing. He's probably gonna have to shift around the guys. But I do think Dalman definitely deserves some kind of minutes, because he's shown from preseason and even in the minutes for the first team that he is a threat constantly. So he deserves some minutes 100%.
You know, like what I would even say, I would be playing Dalman like over at right wing, and I would be playing Saka over on the left. You know, like I would.
Something's gonna have to change. Yeah,
You know, like,
something's gonna have to change.
I do agree that, you know, I think that Saka is going to be eventually moved into midfield, just because I don't think he has like the pace enough. I don't think he has the pace to continue, you know, like on the wing moving forward, especially if you want to see him like have a career at Arsenal, because I think at this stage, like he may be on the verge of getting a second injury. But I think at this stage I would rather have him just like be like, you know, just be spamming crosses into the box, just for Gyökeres just to finish them.
But you know,
But
I
no,
don't
go-
think Arteta is
go ahead,
gonna
Sam.
play. Sorry, man. I don't think Max Dalman is gonna play. Honestly, knowing Arteta,
I
he's not the
agree
type.
with you.
Probably
I
so.
agree with you.
Oh, probably
I
so.
agree with
He's
you,
not the
Sammy.
type of
I agree with you.
player. I mean, manager that will, you know, try the element of youth. I've never seen Arteta do that unless he really has to. I mean, he doesn't have anybody to play.
Because if that was the case, why loan Waneri? That was gonna be coming
Yes,
back to my point,
yes.
because
Oh.
you have someone who was
Stupid
older,
move.
who's played consistent minutes,
just hit a
and
nerve
who
there.
was physically growing into it. You give him a new shirt. It doesn't make sense you loan out Waneri and then you're giving Doman consistent minutes. It's not gonna match up. I think yes, Doman will have a future at Arsenal, but I don't think he plays like a big part this season. Maybe next season, but again, we'll have to also see what's gonna happen with the development of Waneri. Because you don't loan out Waneri and then just give minutes to Ethan. Because if I give minutes to Dolman, because if I was Ethan, I'm looking at it like, wait, huh?
Especially
This
because
kid?
Ethan earned minutes after what he
Exactly.
did last season. He should have got
And
minutes
this
at the
season.
beginning of the
And
season.
this season.
Yeah. Hell, to be honest with you, even if he's left-footed, I would have tried Ethan out at the left wing if he was still here over these two other fucking bums.
Yeah, that's I would.
I mean, they can also surely. I mean, again, like I know that we're like grasping for straws at this point, but I mean, like surely there's someone in the academy, that could maybe have like a few, rather like some like game time, like every like 15, 20 minutes near like near like the tail end of the match. I mean, like again, like how else are we supposed to learn and figure out and find out that we have talent, like in the youth academy that like that is good enough. I mean, like we had in the week
Preseason.
Preseason, true, absolutely, and we had seen players like Josh Nichols in preseason, and we have never seen him once starting a right back this season. So,
I think if we didn't see them so far this season, they're probably not gonna feature necessarily because. I mean, Mari Simon got minutes. We see Waneri get minutes. We've seen Dolman get minutes. We've seen even last season we see Lewis Skelly and Waneri break through. So I mean, it was Charles Sogo Jr. He had a stretch of games at left wing, but again, where he's actually gone. Cabio was his name last season. We needed a striker desperately. He was a natural striker. We play Marino up front.
Yeah.
He was a youth product. He had to get shipped off. So I think if you don't see the talent start to get consistent minutes, is either that they're not good enough or that the manager doesn't trust them. And 95% of the time, they're probably not good enough, honestly.
Let's round up now, people. Yeah, Arsenal versus Chelsea. Yeah, what's your thoughts on the game and give us a prediction? Go rounds. Anyone could go start. Do you know what I mean? I'm actually mash up. So. Arsenal versus Chelsea. Are we confident about this game? Because I am. I think we beat them at the Emirates. Is this the change? Are we changing now? Is this the point now where we're gonna go on some type of run? We're gonna win games and win this trophy.
I think all the fans hope that. I think all of us hope that. And whether your outlook on the manager is one way or not, I think all of us hope that we kick on and win the games from here. Because again, you can't just go from a game against Chelsea. We've seen us beat some of the biggest teams. We beat Bayern Munich this season. We've beaten Inter Milan. We've beaten teams this season. Whether that's in the Champions
Chelsea
League.
this season.
We've beaten Chelsea this season already. So again,
Not in the league.
I'm
though.
not necessarily.
Yes.
I'm not necessarily
10 men.
worried too much. But I do think I want for more so than anything. I want to see a performance. I want to see us go there and assert ourselves again because we're playing at home. We should be having the confidence. A week break. You have a whole week now to adjust yourself to a Chelsea game. Prep yourself mentally. You shake yourself down from the Wolves game and say, okay, now it's time to go on and lift this trophy. So I think there's no reason why we can't go out there and beat Chelsea 2-3-0. I mean, look at 23-24 where we needed a result. We beat them 5-0 at home. So I'm not saying it's going to be 5-0 this season, but I do think Chelsea don't have a good defense. They're playing B-tier centre-back with B-tier centre-back with you.
It should be.
They don't have a proper gunman up front. We should be going there doing a job against them.
Well, champs.
So I'm confident. I'm still confident.
Agreed.
Score prediction.
It should be 5-0. That team fucking sucks.
They
Let's
drew to
go.
Burnley. They're giving up goals
Somehow,
in
Gianni, they
90
always
minutes
turn
too.
up against us, man. They always turn up
they
against us.
No,
it.
because
Love
that's
it.
this with them. We've allowed them to do that over the last 20 years. Ever since Abramovich took over that team.
No, I'm just talking about this season.
They haven't beaten us in
Brother,
9
it goes
tries, though. We're
beyond- it
undefeated
goes
against
beyond
Chelsea
just
in
that.
9, 10 straight
Chelsea
games.
has always been the team to fuck us. Chelsea has always been the team to fuck us over the last 20 years. Whenever Arsenal had a good team, it was always Chelsea that defied the odds to fuck us over. It was always Chelsea. It's not just these recent years. Again, like you said, we didn't beat them when we should have. We should have smoked them that fucking game when they got that red card.
Yeah, you should have.
We should have put them to the sword. But like we always have done over the years, Chelsea's always been the fucking team to always be a thorn in our side. It's always happened.
So
Always
what's your prediction?
Prediction? If we go with Eze, we play the hot hand and we play more direct, we should be smoking this team fucking 4-0. That team is shit. That manager is shit. He doesn't deserve that fucking job. He got there because of all the political shit at Chelsea. We should be going to fucking Chelsea. We should be and at home smoking them 4-0 if we're about it. If not,
Come on, people. Come
Just
on.
I would say-
Come
I
on.
would say
scrambled
3-0.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Johnny, I love his little rants, bro. He just goes into one, man. Like 4-0, yeah. What's you man saying
Anything I
about this
said-
game and that?
Has anything I said wrong?
I don't agree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Chelsea
I'll go
is
3-0. I'll go
3-0.
PBK says 6-1. I'll go 3-0. I'll go 3-0. I'm confident going into that game next week, man. I think all of us should be confident.
Fuck, man, I wish I was confident. Look, I think we can look at it two different ways. And as Gianni had, eloquently said it, there are a lot of variables. If the manager sets up a certain way, like if the manager plays certain, if the manager starts certain players, if we have, if we have the same gumption that we had in the second half against Spurs, if we are going to play that for a full consecutive 90 minutes, because I'm sure that everyone here on this panel can agree that that a lot of our matches this season, especially domestically, they have been a tale of two halves, where the first half has been absolutely on life alert, and then second half we sometimes come alive. But also as well, there have been times where we consistently go up 1-0 and then we park the bus, as opposed to putting the knife further into their spleen. My heart says it should be a 3-0, 3-1. We really shouldn't even be giving up a goal, but but as of recent, we have been giving up.
You've been throwing goals at teams.
You're right.
Sesko just scored against Everton in the second 70 seconds.
Ooh.
Benjamin Tesco, get on there, kid.
8 goals this season.
But my head is saying 1-1. There's some. I think.
Did you just say 1-1?
I did, yeah. I think
Against Chelsea.
It's 1-1.
I think again, a lot of this.
Why is it mad?
So why I hate giving predictions, especially before I see the lineup showing up, is just because there are a lot of variables. And this manager has been very inconsistent. So what I do believe though, if 29 or Odegaard or both of them start, I think it's going to be long.
Yeah, that I definitely agree with.
I was gonna say 3-0, but I'm gonna say 3-1 because our defense. We went from not conceding shots on target to just giving goals away. So I don't know what's going on with our defense right now.
Our defense is in trouble when Nketiah is no longer in the room. It's absolutely crazy.
Defense is in trouble. But yeah, I say 3-1 because I don't know where I'm going. This team, they just wanna mess around at the back right now. I don't know where I'm going. So 3-1, yeah.
Sammy.
What about you, Don? What's your prediction? How are you feeling going into this game? I know you said these 2 games are the games you were looking at.
Honestly speaking, knowing Chelsea and how they turn up against us, and the mental element, pressure is high. I think it's going to be a stinky 0-0.
Oh wow!
This is like a final, isn't it, for them, innit? Because they don't want us to win the league, innit? So they're gonna do us. They want to try and do a Spurs, but they're much better.
The biggest.
And they have some decent attacking players as well. To be real.
Nah, it's not about the attack. I think they're gonna park the biggest bus you've ever seen, man.
So Sammy, what would be your keys for us to win this game? What do you think Arsenal have to do?
Play very quick football. Stop this build up shit and the side passes. If you do want to break that low block, we got to do what we did against Tottenham. But I don't think Chelsea players are as shit as Tottenham Hotspur. To be honest, they have a better players. I'm not saying they're elite players, but they have better players than Spurs.
So you're looking at that as more of us playing a style away, or do you think that has to be personnel wise to get us to play that kind of football?
No, I think it's more tactical than the choices. I think we do have a very good squad, and I think whoever plays from our squad is better than Chelsea. I'm not gonna sit here and deny it. And it's not me glazing our players or being overreactive or something, but I just think the mental element and also Chelsea are going to set up a very deep low block pause, and that's it. I don't think we're going to be able to break them down.
Even if we,
You think
final
that's
question. I don't
gonna
want to feel like I'm
happen
praying.
anyway?
I don't want to feel like I'm praying. But even if we play that ideal football with the right personnel, with the right profiles of guys, you still think potentially it would end up 0-0, even if
All it takes one
everything works
goal.
out?
All it takes is one goal. You're going to open the floodgates. You know, that's
Okay.
only going to take one goal, but I don't think we're going to score that goal. That's the problem.
It depends on the personnel, Gunnar. It depends on the personnel. Like I said, not to beat a dead horse with this, but if you start Eze, like let's say this for example, in the game in the was it the League Cup or the game that we drew them? They went with Reece James in the middle with Caicedo.
That was the week.
That was
If they
league. That
were-
was the league. The
Red
1-1
card.
in the
It
league.
was the
Red
league.
card.
If Reece James and Caicedo is the midfield pairing for them, then you need to go Eze because you need to get fast football. Because if you allow them to set up and it's Odegaard that's playing, the ball moves too slow to get past those guys. Because before Caicedo got in trouble, they were running that midfield. And that's what made it even worse, that the fact that once Caicedo go ahead.
Funny enough, Eze started that game and Caicedo was all over Eze in that game. Eze couldn't even get anything to foot because Caicedo was running on kicking people the whole game.
But
So
remember,
that's also another one of my concerns. And we brought on an Odegaard to at least get our foot on the ball. And that one of our goal ended up coming from creating a chance. It ended up with Saka. Saka made the cross in the box and we scored from Moreno. So this is what I'm going back to say. I love Eze, but this is why
You're
I
right,
think
but look at the
you can't-
position difference. Look at the
Yeah.
formation and the position difference. Eze was more in that 8-10 shit that Odegaard was. He wasn't directly under the striker like he was in the game under Spurs. That's why I'm saying the positioning is the key.
Okay.
If you put him directly with Gyökeres and they blitz him, there's gonna be other gaps open to attack that Chelsea line. If we go back with this 4-3-3, slow, methodical bullshit, if it's Eze, they're gonna get on him again. Same thing if it was Odegaard as well. That's why I'm saying
Okay.
if you run the 4-2-3-1 that we just did against Spurs, we should blitz these guys. Because if we're getting the fastballs to Gyökeres, them two center backs are dog shit. And Fofana's off now. And who is it? It's going to be fucking Badiashile and what other fucking bum they got?
Yeah.
Tosin?
Yeah.
If it's Badiashile and Tosin, again, that's my point. If you play Eze in a more advanced role, we should be blitzing these motherfuckers. They're not that good.
Who got the red card? Who got the red card last game?
Caicedo.
Fofana.
no,
We played them
Fofana,
or
Fofana, yeah.
Fofana got it
Fofana.
for Chelsea in the recent game. When we played them, it was Caicedo.
Fofana's not playing, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their defense is going to be even shittier. We should be smoking these guys. As long as we play more direct, if we play this flat 4-3-3 sideways bullshit, Chelsea's going to set up, and I could see it being a tie. If we go direct, yeah, exactly. If we go direct with Eze and we go full blown direct at them like we did the second half with Spurs when we just blew them off the park, we'll destroy Chelsea. But again, it's all down to how it depends. It just depends how offensive and gung ho Arteta wants to be. If he's going to be slow, it could be a draw. Even with this shit as Chelsea's back line is. We've seen it before in the past. If we don't
I
attack,
think they can hit us in the transition.
no.
Any team
No.
can hit anybody on the counter.
You can, but I'm not. João Pedro is Cole Palmer still in shit form. Pedro Neto is a dribbler. He's not a finisher. Jamie Gittins should be left out. I'm really not that scared of Chelsea, to be quite honest with you. I'm really not.
Me neither. My only concern is we talked about to waffle about this. Capo said it earlier. We've been gifting teams back in games, and look at even Tottenham yesterday. Tottenham had no chance to even have a goal that game. We gave them a goal. Wolves, we gave them a goal. United, we gave them a goal. Bournemouth, that game started because we gave them a goal. We've been giving teams. Even look at the Chelsea game when we played them at the Bridge. I don't know how Garnacho got 2 goals off the bench. That's still a mystery.
Exactly.
So I just hope if we don't give them a goal, we win this. We win these games. We win this game. I agree.
That's why you go gung ho. Every coach knows if your team can leak out a goal, you go gung ho on the offense and just say fuck it because you got to outscore them. So we know that we could score on that shit defense. So for me, it depends. It depends the formation. If we go 4-3-3, I could see a 2-2 draw because both teams will give up goals, especially with the form we've been in. If we go same formation, we don't have that. And the other key thing is we cannot start the game shit like we did against Spurs. Because then to what Sammy's saying, how Chelsea always shows up, they'll show up and get a goal off of us for that. If we start out slow like we did against Spurs, if we blitz these motherfuckers from the beginning and we take advantage of it, then you can coast. If you go up 2-3-0, now you can coast for the rest of the game and you can relax. But if we start slow, Chelsea could cause us some problems.
Waffle, you haven't gave us your prediction.
Yeah, I think it's the part of the season now, isn't it? It's like, what have Chelsea got to play for? What, top 4? They're still in the FA Cup. They haven't really got much to play for apart from the FA Cup. Maybe top 4
They're
as
still
well.
in Champions League too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're still in the Champions League. Yeah.
They get redrawn. They get redrawn after this round, just like we do.
You know, with Chelsea, yeah, there's some kind of mental thing with Chelsea as well. Because I know they drew with us in the league and stuff, yeah, but we've beaten them like in a cup as well now.
10 men.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking to myself,
And they haven't beaten us in 10 games. So
yeah, are they checked out now? But I'm sure that they're not going to want us to win this league. So because they're City's little darlings, aren't they? They love City, innit? They love buying players off them as well. So
Blue Brothers.
I'm going to go 2-1. Be close, but I think it'd be a 2-1 win.
Fairs.
But anyway, people, man, I'm gonna lock off, man. Have you guys subscribed to each other and all that? Yeah, because looks like it's the content
Things
creates.
yeah. I think I'm subscribed to
Brother,
everyone.
I can barely take you. I'm just kidding, but I mean, I can barely take you seriously when you're always frozen.
I'm not frozen here.
Yes,
But I mean, you
But
lot
it's a good posture. It's
do
a
the
good
longest
posture, you know,
stream, yeah,
Chris.
when I've got no Wi-Fi as well. You know?
You know what it is, yeah? It's because I know what he's doing. He's going off the tab, and it's just freezing his face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just dead.
hey.
And I told him last time, you're on Twitter, take your camera off because you're frozen like this. And I was trying to tell you.
Okay. Let me take my camera off then, man. Sorry. Let me just take my camera. Brothers, shout out your channels and that, man, because you, man, listen, I ain't even rested since I got home from work, bro. But it's been a mad stream, you know. Shout out your channels, man. Anyone could go first.
Dr. Seymour Butts, Chief Arsenal Proctologist. I don't got a channel, but I'm always here working 24/7 at London Colney Renal Center. You know, so if you need your head pulled out of your ass, sorry, if you need your head pulled out of Arteta's ass, you can come schedule an appointment. Not out.
But you have got a channel though.
I do. Well, I mean, look, in technicality, I do. It's America's Public Servant. That's more on my personal career path. But to that end, I mean, like this account. You know,
let me ask you a serious, controversial question now. Yeah, this is outside of football. Yeah,
Yep.
Can you see a World War III in the next couple of years? Honest opinion.
No.
Well, so I mean, so ultimately, there's a massive nuclear deterrent, considering that the United States has the largest military arsenal when it comes to that. But with that being said, we are going down a very authoritarian driven path where we're seeing a lot more autocratic regimes popping up all around the world. And additionally, we are also seeing we're also just seeing a lot of repression of individual liberties and rights. Even here in this country, we have seen a government over the last 20-25 years becoming more autocratic. Especially post 9/11, we have seen a massive influence of wiretapping. We have seen a lot of natural civil liberties and rights that that had always pre-existed to be eroded. And I would also say, I mean, it's certainly what gives it the viability are the leaders that currently exist in the world. These are very power hungry individuals who oftentimes shoot first and ask questions second. So unfortunately, because there aren't many level heads in the world anymore, there will always be that question of whether or not we are inching closer to that time.
Very good answer. Oh no, who's
No,
that?
sorry. Waveland's answer, like, I'll change my gender, you know. That's that.
Nah, that's mad. Yo, that's mad.
I ain't get dropped into no more, cuz. You must be mad.
Nah,
You must be mad.
that's mad.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
That's crazy.
you know what?
I'm your mind.
Nah, that's mad.
Mountains,
That's mad.
On paper, I'm gonna be something else. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
mad.
be in the
They're gonna be
mountains.
Kaba.
somewhere.
They're gonna be Kabadis going moving forward.
On paper, I'll be something else, boy.
Kapadana.
I'm crying.
No, but
bro.
on a serious note, man, it is scary, man, with the amount of
Nah, yeah.
nutters admin
Mhm.
we've got in this world, man. Gianni, what you got coming up, man? Listen, you, man, yeah. Gianni's got a wicked show, yeah, where you have your 11, pick your 11 players, like your best 11. I'm not gonna say it's my best 11, but it's the 11 players that I would love to watch. So I've been doing this for like nearly 2 weeks now, and he's got a show. You know, he's got a show that, you know, obviously you tell him your best 11, and I think he compares you other players as well. So, you know what I mean? Make sure you lock into that show because it's a really good
Nice.
show, man. I know
Nice.
I know BBK's got a team on there. It was really good as well. Who's the other guy as well? What's his
There's been a
name?
ton.
What's
We
his
did
name?
Shane. We did
Who?
Shane Guna. We did
Shane's
Aaron.
been on there. Who's the other guy?
Aaron talked
Rashid.
Arsenal. Rashid.
Has
Yeah,
Aaron been on there as well, yeah?
Aaron was the first one.
Well, is his team all right? Is his team good?
Yeah, it's so basically it's called who you would
Yeah.
pay to see. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be your greatest of all time, who you think's the greatest is. It's just 11 players that you would pay money to see play football together. It can be
that's
it can be low-key killers. It could be players of that we all say the streets will never forget.
Mhm.
So it doesn't
Nice
have to
idea.
be it doesn't have to be your greatest 11. You know, we all know the arguments. It's Messi, Ronaldo, Maradona, Pelé.
Yeah.
Beyond all that, who would you see pay? And
I've got 5 players so far, Gianni. So I'm gonna make sure if I get the invite next, I'm gonna have a. Is it 11? It's
I
11.
think you should do eras better. Like if you do it in which era, I think that will kind of.
That's the beauty of this. There's no lock to an era. You could pick players from old to play with new.
Mm.
Doesn't
So,
matter.
so you compare other people's teams to the team that someone would pick? Or how would it work?
Get the plumbing tool out. You know what's it?
Yeah.
Get the plunger out.
Hey, when you got that, you can come holler at me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, go and walk the
He's the
dog.
best
Go and walk the dog.
man.
Dog right there. Go and walk the dog. Dog. Yeah,
Gianni
man, it's
Talks.
been a good show, people. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say my channel's Gianni Talks Calcio TV. Like I said, we do the show who you would pay to see, and we talk about other stuff as well. So yeah, appreciate meeting all you guys. Appreciate talking ball.
Big up.
Appreciate having me on, and yeah,
Make sure you guys subscribe to the guy. His channel is here, guys. Just put that in the thing. Make sure you guys subscribe to him. I think you're on 220 subs in it at the moment.
yeah, climbing. We're climbing. We're working.
Climbing, and you get
Nice.
some good numbers
Keep
in this.
going, bro. Keep going. Keep going.
Good numbers, bro. Who's next? Who wants to go next before I freeze up
Just subbing to everyone.
in Seymour's Dr.
You know,
Seymour's
that time has already come and gone.
I'll go next. Gunner Street people. If you don't know, well, you don't know. I do live streams. I do player analysis, player breakdowns. I try to do like cover players' history. Those are those deep dive videos. I also do short form content, start, sub, sell, randomizer videos. So tap in with me. I'm trying to take my channel to the next level 2026 and my Instagram as well. So Gunner Street official or Gunner Street or anything, check me out. Appreciate it.
What's up?
I like your Instagram as well, bro. Like you got your little interview thing going on there as well.
bro.
So I really
Appreciate
like
it.
that. Okay, that kind of stuff, man. Who's next, man? It's either Rig or Capo. Which one who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Capo.
I'll go first. I don't really do reviews or channels and stuff. Listen. But
Gotta get you on,
as you
Capo,
can
man.
see everywhere, Waveland 8. I'm a professional videographer and creative director, so like I edit and I'm sitting behind this desk all day. So you probably just see me in the comments of BBK and the rest of them. I don't have a channel, but if you want editing work, you can hit me up.
Yeah. I'm gonna need an intro video for this stream though.
Yeah,
So
man. Waveland 8 on IG, Waveland 8 on everything.
Big up. Man like Sammy, what you telling me?
Yeah, man, football rig. I mean, do live watch-alongs, live reactions, shows as well. Arsenal News Drill Down, Gianni and the Doc, and also you, Waffle Down, are familiar with. We break down every Arsenal rumor, news that is surrounding the club, and we just talk about it and dive deep and just drill it down. I mean, that's about it.
I hear it. Where's your channel now, man? I had it just here. I need to put you on the. Hold on. I need to put you on the
favorites.
Yo, big fella, what do you got going on, Waffle Don?
Yeah.
Outside
What?
of maybe.
Well. The next thing should be concerning you because we're supposed to be doing. Do you know what? The other day, sorry, we couldn't do it, man. I need to get my Wi-Fi. That's what I'm gonna focus on. But we need to do the Arteta thing and the. I was gonna ask you guys quickly, yeah. But I'm gonna do a show on this anyway, and we'll close off with this, yeah. In this modern day era, yeah, does the captaincy actually matter? That's my question to you. And anyone's open to give any opinion, however they want to give it. I'm not going to debate it or nothing.
I'm just going to say.
I think it's important, aside of the manager and the tactics and the lineups and all that stuff, the leader on the pitch is the guy they rally behind, the players respect, and they see him. I mean, he's leading by example as a role model for the players, the way he performs, the way he acts, even on or off the pitch. It's important to have that kind of figure in the club, I would say, and I believe maybe it died out a little bit at this time, but I believe it's very important to have that kind of person in the club that will carry. If things go dire, you look into that leader, and he's the one who's pushing the team to perform at a high level.
I think it can be important, but I think it also just depends on the management. Like if Arteta doesn't care who's his captain because he's going to have 4 people who are essentially his captains, then having one it takes away, the power that having one has. So if you feel like, no, I want to have one guy that everyone has to listen to, then you will make it, a priority to make sure everybody knows this is the captain. So it depends on the, I guess, the coach's management style more than anything else, rather than the player or the captain, like that we're actually talking about.
Yeah, but you guys agree with this? I don't know, voting thing about you got to vote for your captain. I mean, that's ridiculous for me.
I don't even know if it's real, but I hate it.
I think that's how Odegaard got it, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what Arteta said, and I actually said this before, but I'm not sure how true that is.
It's straight.
But teams do this stuff.
I don't mind voting. I don't mind voting for a captain.
No, teams do it, but I don't know how true it is in this situation. Is what I'm saying. Like I'm not sure if I believe.
I want to ask you guys. Let me just delve into this because me and Dr. Seaman, we're gonna delve deeper into this though. Yeah, but do you think the reason why Odegaard is captain, is because he's kind of emotionless? Because you got Declan Rice, you can see there's emotion in him, and you've got Gabriel, you can see there's emotion in him. They get triggered at certain points. They're leaders, I get it, but with Odegaard, you don't see any emotions. You don't see him getting, wound up on the pitch. Is this one of the reasons why? I
don't know if it is, but I think
type of guy.
I think Declan Rice answered this one time when he was asked about the captaincy. I think it's because, and I think even Norgard answered it. It was Norgard, sorry, that answered it. I think it's more so because if it was voted on, if they're going by that narrative, and if that is true, which I think it is, because Norgard also said why he's the captain is because of how he leads the team, whether that's by example and how he shows up. I think all those behind the scenes things also matter. How you show up, how you prepare, how you do certain things. And again, on the pitch is different. Performance is different. That matters more so than anything. But behind the scenes, working with the guys, how are you with the guys? Are you someone people can approach? Are you a put the arm around the guy? Can you develop the youth? Can you develop other guys in the group? Are you a closed off figure? I think all that stuff matters when it comes to captaincy, especially at a big club like Arsenal. So I don't mind having a captaincy group with what Capo said. I do think it matters in terms of management style. Whichever people prefer to be the main captain is up to the person and how they view the team and how the manager views the team. But in terms of having a captain in a leadership group, I think that's probably how management has gone to go. Because again, then you put yourself in a predicament. What happens if your captain isn't performing? You have to pull him out the squad. That's uncomfortable conversations, which is why we're even having this conversation in the first place. So, yeah, I think I don't find anything wrong with the
You know
captaincy
what?
leadership groups.
And now I just thought of something. Maybe it's like me as Arteta, I'm gonna give you 4 people who are my captaincy group, and then everyone can vote on who out of the 4 is gonna be the number 1. That I can understand.
Maybe that's how they did it because
I can't understand how me as a manager, like, no, someone pick my manager, like someone pick my captain. That means I don't care who my captain is. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't get.
We don't know how that process went down fully.
I think it's a mixture of that because to like what Gunner Street was saying, all great teams or all good teams that we've seen has had a leadership group.
I'm a leader.
Like here, whether to the fault of them or not, Chelsea had the player power in their team, which led to the reason why they were hiring and firing managers. But they had that leadership group that was John Terry, Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard with that team. Right, with all the major teams, all teams that have massive successes have that leadership group. We can go to AC Milan back in the day with fucking Kaká, Maldini, and everybody from there. We can go to all those teams. The captaincy though is important because the captaincy is the guy to, like what Gunner Street said, is going to do all those extra things. Now, Odegaard, I don't know because the one thing I will give Arteta, it is a tight-knit locker room. You don't hear a lot of drama falling out of that locker room. So maybe to a degree there is that we're not seeing. Emotionally, though, to like what Waffle was saying, a lot of the captains do have that more emotional side to them to where they take it to the next level of getting in guys' faces and organizing shit. We've seen it throughout the history of football, no matter what. Tony Adams was more emotional than most guys when he was the captain at Arsenal, and that's the thing. Sometimes you need the captain to be more emotional that when the times are bad, if the managers talk isn't getting through, that extra emotion kicks you up the ass from your captain. So to me, it's a mixture of both. You need to have a strong leadership group that's going to lead the way and show in all facets that you need to be better and keep the standard high. But there also needs to be that extra little bit to come out of whoever is selected as the manager, the captain.
I was even going to ask, do you really think that the players here, like in this, like back in the day, like had voted in Tony Adams as captain or Patrick Vieira as captain? Like, no, like those are those are all like managerial decisions. I mean, like I don't buy this whole claptrap that that like players are voting for their own captain. I think that's absolute crap.
But what I would say to that is personalities also take over when it comes to football. So we all watch Declan Rice and we say that's a captain. That could be a potential captain. We see Gabriel and say that could be a potential captain. The same thing for the players. Now they know Odegaard is a different form of captain, but everyone has that respect for a Gabriel and a Declan Rice that if they say something on the pitch, they are viewed as a captain, leadership group because they are, or even if they weren't, they're viewed that way. So I do think personalities transcend just an armband, but I do think it's a double-edged sword. I do think it's a double-edged sword, but I hear it. I hear both sides of it.
What Waffle said about I actually think you lose something. Like if your captain doesn't have that emotional connection, I think you lose a big chunk of what being a leader is. Like
exactly.
Being a leader is you're the one that is gonna basically rally the troops, and you can't do that. Sometimes you need to like get into people's faces to get that out of them. Everybody's different. Everyone's man management style is different. Some people need an arm around the shoulder. but then there's other people that you really need to stick it. Huh?
Also for the control too, Capo. It's also for the control to maintain focus when the times are tough.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when you look at Chelsea, I'm sorry, Caicedo's not a good captain.
Yeah.
Because he makes
Yeah.
too many stupid fucking decisions. Same thing when
Christian
you look
Romero.
at Spurs. I was just going to go that way with Romero.
Mm.
It's you have to. It's not only being emotional, but also being able to be level-headed to be able to
So you gotta have a balance then.
time.
Yeah. Balance.
Go look at AC Milan. Gattuso was a fucking madman and could always get himself in
Yeah.
trouble. Maldini would get in his face, tell him to shut the fuck up, and then he wouldn't get in trouble because he took it to that next level. How many times did we see it at Chelsea with John Terry getting in guys' faces to tell them to shut the fuck up and keep the course? It has to go to that extra level. So what Capo's saying is 100% correct.
Yeah,
That
you need it.
to not have that emotional side to it does take a bit of the bite and the edge. Like sometimes, what have we always said that Arsenal is a problem with sometimes? We try to do it too clean. You need some of that nastiness and grittiness to get through a full season. And that nastiness and grittiness comes out of that extra emotion to take it just that extra level further than someone who is not as emotional. And for me, I think Odegaard was picked by the manager. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because if you look at the length of the captains, it was Aubameyang. And then as soon as Aubameyang got shifted out, it was Lacazette. Then Lacazette got shifted out. And then after that, there wasn't any real captain figure in that team. Also, Xhaka was sent out. So from there, when you look at everybody post that team, Rice wasn't there, or I think Rice would have been given the captaincy. Gabriel Magalhaes was the number 2 defender. Was the number 2 defender at Lille when we bought him. He wasn't the main defender. It was the old Portuguese guy, Jose Font, that captained them to win the league title the following year. So Gabriel Magalhaes wasn't in a leadership position to step into that role. No, but Trossard wasn't there yet until later. So Odegaard got handed that thing because he was probably at that point looking at who was in the locker room the best man for the job, either by the players or most so from that point from the manager. But that's the whole reason why I think he got chosen. I think if Gabriel was more the player he is now, or Rice was there, I think they would have been given the captaincy over Odegaard. That's my opinion on that.
Facts.
Sammy, or should we just wrap up now?
Yeah, I just had my say about the captaincy. I mean, and I agree with all of the guys here. I do agree. It's a very important element in the football. And yes, you need that guy who would take the extra mile for you. And you look, to that guy who's going to carry you. I mean, it's been like that since, the beginning of time, and I don't think it changed.
Definitely. Hey, big up to the panel, man, today, man. It's been levels. Nearly 3 hours of streaming, man. You, man, had a lot to say. I was like, first hour, let's wrap it up. I was like, these men are just talking, yeah. Second hour is like,
He's the waffle now. Hey,
yeah, I'm gonna look at I've had my dinner and everything, and all this time when you lot been talking, bro, it's been mad. But it's been a Mazza stream. But
waffling skills, bro. It looks like you're getting. Oh,
I'm gonna have to
your own
return
channel
the
as well.
favour, innit? So I'm gonna have to give Football Rig an hour. I'm gonna have to give Johnny a bloody hour as well. Do you know what I mean? And Mr. Dr. Seymour an hour on his America's was most wanted or whatever you call it.
Yeah, there you go.
channel.
Yeah.
Nah, big up to you, man. Though,
Seymour,
man.
put it in the private chat. Your
What his channel?
I got you.
Yeah, the personal one.
Yeah. Put it in the chat, man. But listen, people, thank you all, the chat and all that, for Jump coming down. And listen, we need to beat Chelsea. We need to win this league this season, man. I'm gonna crash out big time. Big up, people, and we out. Peace.
Peace.
Cheers.